Elsewhere, accountability will come to recognize other places, the zoo, and all around will recognize her. And of course, the presence of our able lecturers, also part of this program, talking about Mr. Richard, who was a BC Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard, of course, for recognition in Nigeria, but of course, Mr. Grammy, Olivia, Mr. Grammy, stand up for recognition, okay, they are outside doing the work. At this point, we commence the anthem of the national anthem. Are you ready? Oh yeah, no more expense. Thank you very much.
The objective of teaching practice to various schools within the state to gain hands-on essential experience and skills required in the field and for their future careers. The objective of teaching practice entails the use of schools with qualified and experienced teachers who will help in the training of our students. We emphasize qualified and experienced because in not only in Lagos State, throughout the federation, we have teachers that are not qualified. And by the special grace of God, by the time people finish here, we are going to be what? Qualified teachers. You know there are some teachers in the profession that are not qualified. So that is why we emphasize qualified and experienced teachers. And in our public schools within the states, most public schools, in fact all, are equipped with experienced teachers. They will serve as guides and role models within the states. Is suited for this exercise. TP is also a way to give back to the society and the state program of the college. There are developments in the TP program. Students are advised to pick schools closest to their homes or current residences to ensure a robust participation in the activities of the school of their choice. This move will not only reduce absenteeism but also mitigate transportation costs. Students completed their registration online for the first time in Aocoed history. The online registration was a success. Over 1,500 public schools were available on the TP portal. A total of 1,568 students registered for the exercise. Out of the 1,500 schools, only 364 schools were chosen by the students, spanning 19 local government areas across the state. Although local governments have over 700 students, followed closely by Badagry that had almost 500. Meanwhile, Adimosho local government had 132 students, whereas Ifako Itaye had 30 students. Oshodi Solo and Aocoed had 16 students each. This new system of TP registration has helped us keep better records, which will enable the program to get better over time. It may not be a perfect system, but it is definitely a better one, as it has helped address the crisis of overcrowding in the past. To our students, the Directorate of Teaching Practice, on behalf of the college, is poised to protect your interests while you are out on this exercise. The exercise that was designed essentially to nurture and sharpen your skills as we be professional teachers. We therefore urge you to maximize this learning opportunity. We know you can deliver. I'm sure you will smartphones or access to the internet. Change is never easy, but it is essential for progress. I welcome you all to this teaching practice orientation for 2021-2022 academic session. Thank you all and God bless.
Thank you all. Let us give a round of applause to the director of teaching practice, Dr. Aocoed. Why in the person of Dr. Our public provost, thank you very much for this program. The public provost is sitting in for the provost of the college. While that speech was going on, we also noticed the appearance of the dean of SBT School of Educational Technical Education in the person of Dr. Aocoed, who are different departments, that's other schools. As a working, we acknowledge them. Now, we all know why we are here. As such, we'll be having two discussions. Hello, we'll be having two senior officers that will be telling us what and what to do and what we are not expected. Two discussers will tell us more about that. But while we are waiting that, the deputy provost seated, we need to declare this program open. While we are calling on him to talk to us, please let us give him a round of applause.
Thank you very much for the letter of the day. Let me start by to apologize for coming late. We are having another program at the provost office with some journalists. We have just started that, and that's why provost is unable to be here. And he has asked me to represent her in this orientation. Yes. Let me equally continue with established protocol that already been established. Praise Nigeria students. Only guys now. Praise Nigeria students. Boys, parents, chalet. Your voice must be greater, raised to our limited. More than that of men. Boys, are you ready? Boys, praise Nigeria students. I am disappointed. I reserve my comment. Okay. When we are here for teaching practice orientation, and from the previous teaching given to you, at least in 2 courses that are related to TP, you have been adequately informed that teaching practice is compulsory and it is mandatory. Not only that it is compulsory or mandatory, teaching practice carries 6 units. 6 units in your program. We have some courses 1 unit, we have some 2 units. But when it comes to teaching practice, it carries how many units? 6 units. It will be very, very disastrous if anyone should fail teaching practice. And let me tell you, teaching practice is failable. In other words, you can fail teaching practice. Don't just say that I will just go and do anything like that. And when you fail teaching practice, then you know that is extra year. Not just extra year, it's extra year that we're going to be in school for 6 months, for another 6 months. Unlike other carryover you have in other courses. And that is why nobody should make any attempt to fail teaching practice. And for you not to fail teaching practice, that is why we are here today. So that you can be adequately informed on what it takes to pass teaching practice successfully. And that's why we organize this orientation, to give you necessary information, things that you need to know, so that the 6 months of your teaching practice can be a wonderful and a good experience. Now, in this orientation today, our speakers will give you a lot of information, things that you need to do during the teaching practice. Many things you need to do, things that should be avoided during teaching practice, and that's why you are here. And not only that, apart from talk from our 2 speakers, we're going to have section of question and answer. Now, I don't want anything to prevent you or for shyness to take over you not to ask any question supposed to ask. During that time, please come out and ask your question, because that will end all this. Now, I want to appreciate the effort of Directorate of Teaching Practice for all the work they've done and the work they're still doing to ensure that all of us we are properly placed. And I want to thank them again for all the ordeals they've gone through, all the complaints they've gone through to ensure that this teaching practice orientation is taking place today and teaching practice is going to commence. Now, you should know that teaching practice has started. It has started. This week is the beginning of teaching practice. Your coming here today is part of your teaching practice exercise, and that is why they are taking their attendance. If anybody fails to come to today's teaching practice, that person has started failing teaching practice. Because the attendance over there is going to be used as part of things we are going to use as teaching practice attendance. Please, you need to take it very, very serious. This is not a time for long talk. We have people here, highly specialized, skillful professionals that will give us orientation on different assigned topics. I want you to listen to them. All those are going out and coming in, that should be stopped. Everybody should be well seated so that you can get the information about to be disseminated to you. Please, I encourage you to listen very well. Yes, we know we're going to have some challenges, but at the same time, you should equally be aware that anything that will be successful must have some challenges. So we need to bear those challenges that we're going to face. Yes, and I think your Ajayi here, one of our speakers today, is an ex-student of this college. She also went through teaching practice. I was talking to you, you all know, I'm an ex-student of this college. I too went through teaching practice. So, compulsorily, you must carry the cross of teaching practice. But it's part of the program. So, I wish you successful orientation, and by extension, I wish you successful teaching practice orientation. Teaching practice period. Thank you very much, and you will be successful in your TP SSR. Thank you very much.
Learning. So count yourself lucky for being part of today's briefing. While we are expecting our facilitator to come up and talk, you are free to note your questions in a piece of paper. Hello? You are free to note your questions in a piece of paper. We'll send somebody to pick them up from you, and they will address them rightly. Your questions must be simple and must be important. So please, on this note, we'll be calling on the first speaker, Dr. Mrs. Elegbede, to come and tell us the things we need to know about this teaching practice. And please, let us maintain decorum. Let us reduce our noise so we can hear and get a feedback from that. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Deputy Provost of the College, Dr. Aocoed. Director of Teaching Practice, Dr. Adeniyi. Dr. Mrs. Ajayi from School of Education. My Dean from SBT. Dr. Adedotun, representing my Dean, School of Education. All the lecturers in the house, good day to all of us. Great Aocoed students! Great Aocoed students! You are going to represent the college outside. And I believe that you are going to represent us well. So, I would like to congratulate the college and this set of students that are going for their teaching practice exercise. So, I'm congratulating you now that you are able to see this kind of exercise that you are going for. You know that not all of you that resumed the same time, not all of you are here now. But you are here and you are going for this exercise. Congratulations. It is a step further into achieving your academic and professional goals as sound teachers. Without teaching practice, you cannot be a sound teacher. When you have gone and come back, then you start seeing yourself as a professional teacher. And I would like to encourage you to take this program as serious as possible, because teaching practice is also a part of the foundation for a successful career as a teacher. So without this teaching practice, you cannot see yourself as one having a career in teaching. So, pay serious attention and know what you are doing. So, teaching practice is a system where teachers in training are exposed to systematic exposure to the actual classroom experience. So when you go for teaching practice now, it's a kind of exposure, it's a kind of experience that we are going to have in classroom setting. So in teaching practice, one has to know when to display the skills, knowledge, and intellect in the classroom environment. Since you have entered, you have been impacting you with skills, knowledge, and you have gained one knowledge or the other. The skills are there. You are now going out now to put them into practice. So those skills, as you are going, if you have the skills and you don't know how to make good use of them, it's of no use. But those skills that you have gathered, as one lecturer is coming, another one coming, you have gained different strategies from different lecturers, methods of teaching. You are now going out now to exhibit those things that you have gathered over the years. The central thrust of reforms in teacher education program is to produce teachers who can compete globally in world of work and meet the present day challenges. We have a lot of challenges all over. So, and we are expecting teachers that will be able to stand and to face the challenges that may come their way. Not the teachers that will be jittering, not the teachers that will be shaking in the class. So, as we are going, you know what you are going for. So the topic before me is harassment and related infractions during teaching practice. For example, sending student teachers on unwarranted messages to bank, home, market, and so on. And then some of you will like that kind of a thing, that instead of you going there to do what you are expected to do, you prefer that they should be sending you message. If you are in that category, you like that kind of a thing, I'm putting it to you that you don't know the reason why you are going out there. So you are going out there to do some things, and that is what we are expecting from you to do as you are going out. So we want to look at harassment, and we want to look at types of harassment. What do we call harassment? That is what we want to look at now. Or teachers' harassment, or students' teachers' harassment. Teacher harassment refers to forms of harassment that can either come from or is directed at teachers. That is the harassment that can come from another teacher to the student teacher, or the harassment that can come from student teacher to student teacher, or the kind of harassment that can come from supervisor to student teacher, or the kind of harassment that can come from supportive teacher to the student teacher. So harassment in general refers to words, actions, and images that seek to make a person feel threatened, intimidated, or uncomfortable. Anything that will make you threatened, that as if they want to take life out of you, it refers to as harassment. Anything that can intimidate you, that can make you shy, that can make you to be disgraced, it refers to as harassment. So anything that will make you uncomfortable, that you will not get yourself, you will not be your real self, is harassment. So, teacher harassment during teaching practice may cause serious psychological and emotional harm. That is why we want to talk on it. We don't want something that will cause stress for you, something that will bring about psychological and emotional harm to you. So listen and listen careful to hear this thing. Different types of harassment. So if you have any problem with this topic, you are free to come and see me. So we have verbal harassment. Verbal harassment. You know, the words that comes from one's mouth. And some of us, we know how to bring out a word from mouth that can bring one down, that can run one down, that can make one to feel that one should go and commit suicide. So you should know that as you are going out there, we have some people outside there that they can run you down with the words of their mouth. That should not deter you. That should not stop you. You should know that we have some people there. You should know that you have a goal there that you are going to, that you have a reason for going there. So you must not allow that one to affect you. So some of the obvious verbal harassment behaviors include cursing, yelling, threatening, insulting a victim in private or public, insults, abuse, shouting, asking inappropriate questions. All these are verbal harassments and can make one to be intimidated. So for you to be in the front of the students and somebody will just be asking a kind of inappropriate question from you, stand as a student teacher. So, and prepare your mind that you can meet anything there. And whatever comes your way, be ready to meet that thing. Then we have power harassment. We have power harassment. When we are talking about power harassment, we have harasser and we have the harassed. So the harasser, who is higher in the office hierarchy, bullies the victim by exercising their power. You may be the senior teachers there. So all that we want you to know is that they are there. There are some people there that may want to harass you. Stand your ground that you have heard something about that. Don't allow that one to cause problem for you. Also, we have religious harassments, so that they will be saying something about your religion. Don't allow that one to affect you. You know your religion and you stand by your religion. Don't allow somebody to be saying any negative thing about your religion. Also, we have gender harassment, whereby they will be saying that it's only men that can do certain things. Ladies cannot do some things. Let them know that you are being equipped, that you have the skill. Ladies, are you hearing me? There is nothing you cannot do. You can even do better than men. So go out there and do away with any harassment that want to come your way. Then we have psychological harassment. This has to do with mental, emotion, and behavioral and behavior. So don't allow all these things to affect you. So they may be denying your presence, or they may be isolating you. Don't bother yourself. You know that that exercise is for some time. You will soon finish, and you finish well. Then another one is physical harassment, whereby somebody will come that will want to fight you, that they will be doing fists, doing that. Let them know that you are not there for that. So don't fight with anyone as you are going for the teaching practice. We don't want situation whereby you will come and you now face disciplinary committee. Sure. Then we have sexual harassment. Have sexual harassment too. So make sure that you don't allow anyone to treat you or harass you or molest you as you are going. And you'll be able to do that one if you are able to, if you are decent in your dressing. Ladies, are you here? Don't say you are going to teaching practice as a student teacher and all your breasts will be showing, or your underwears will be showing. They will harass you. They will harass you. So the way you dress, they are going to address you that way. So there will be need for you to comport yourself properly. So, and if there is anything that you want us to know, contact the Directorate of Teaching Practice. And if you need advice or anything, contact us at the Directorates of Guidance and Counseling. We are there for you. Thanks for listening. God bless you. You shall go for this exercise and come back in peace.
Dr. Our teacher, Dr. Mrs. Elegbede, thanks for that short lecture. Now, the second speaker will also speak on general comportment during teaching practice. General, please let us give a round of applause as he come up to speak on general comportment in teaching practice. Thank you very much.
Greatest Nigerian students.
Great.
Thank you. Well, I want to stand on the established protocol because of our time. I'm speaking on general comportment during teaching practice. You have heard so much about teaching practice. When we talk about general comportment, we are talking about the way you act, the way you behave, the way you comport yourself, the way you carry yourself when you go to your schools, the way you relate with people. Generally, it has to do with your conduct, your character, your behavior, your demeanor. That is general comportment. And it is expected of every one of you to comport yourselves well when you go out there. You are expected to go and represent the college well as you are ambassadors of this college. And talking about general comportment, we are going to look at certain things under general comportment. Under general comportment, we are looking at your dressing, we are looking at punctuality, we are looking at transit, we are looking at tenses, your language, your communication skills. These are the things that we are going to look at under general comportment. Like I said, your general comportment has to do with the way you carry yourself there, the way you conduct yourself, the way you behave. Your general conduct, that is what we are talking about. And one of the things we expect under general comportment is your dressing. It is said that you dress the way you want to be addressed. As teachers, we are expected to dress decently. We are expected to dress smartly. Okay? As teachers, you don't dress anyhow. You don't dress as if you are going to a brothel. You don't dress as if you are going to a nightclub. There should be a difference. The teaching profession is a noble one. And so as teachers, we are expected to display this in our dressing. For the boys, you are expected to have clean haircut. You know, you dress smartly, formally, and all that. And for the girls, even if you want to have ear extensions, your ear extensions must not be too long. We know what is decent. The key thing here is for us to be what? To be decent and moderate in our dressing. Be decent enough, be moderate enough in your dressing so that your students are not what? Distracted. Because your dressing has a lot of impact on the learning of the students. If you dress anyhow before them, they'll be distracted. They will not listen to you. Okay, that's about dressing. I'm talking about language and tenses on notes of lesson or your lesson plan. Like we know, the lesson plan is an important aspect of teaching. You prepare it beforehand. And the kind of language that you are expected, the kind of language that we expect in your lesson plan should be good language. It should be decent. Your language, your construction of sentences must be accurate, must be precise, must be as simple as possible. Obscene words, vulgar words, dirty words generally are not allowed in writing of lesson plan. Please, I want every one of us to listen. Please pay attention to this. Hello, hello, those of you at the back, please, let's pay attention. It's for you. Okay, your lesson plan should be well written to convey the content of your lesson. And usually you write your lesson plan in the present continuous. You are supposed to write your lesson plan in the right tenses. We know what tenses are. Tenses talk about event of time, times by which things happen, when events happen. And usually when you are writing your lesson plan, you use the present continuous. And so we need to write our lesson plan with what? With the right tenses. I don't need to dwell much on that. You have all been exposed to GSC courses in English language. And you were taught grammar, you were taught about the various tenses. Okay. And so the choice of your words in writing your lesson plan must be precise and accurate. Must be precise and accurate. Avoid vague expressions. Express yourselves simply. And talking about punctuality. Punctuality is being able to complete a required task or to fulfill an obligation before or at an agreed designated time. It is said that punctuality is what? Is the soul of business. For the success of any business enterprise, including the teaching business, punctuality is key. You are expected to be punctual at the school assembly. You are expected to be punctual at all your engagements in the schools you have been posted to. So you need to get to your classes on time. You don't get late to your class. When you get late to your class, it affects the students. Imagine a situation where the teacher comes in late. What do you expect? Of course, you are going to have a rowdy session. Some students will also come late as well. And it's going to affect the teaching learning process. That is punctuality. So we are expected to get to our schools on time, carry out our teaching engagements on time, avoid lateness to school and your classes. And transit, what is transit? Transit is staying away from school, not being present at your duty or at your assignment. Skipping school, not going to school every time, skipping some days in the week. As student teachers, you are expected to be regular in your schools. You are not just to be punctual at your various engagements, but you are expected what? To be regular. You have to be regular in the school. You have to be in the school every day of the week. In a situation where you think you will not be around for a particular day, you have to take permission from the appropriate authority. And so you are not expected to play transit when you go out there. Transit is part of the things that will be used to assess you, even when you go on the teaching practice. Are we listening? Can we have some silence, please? Silence, please. Silence, please. Hello? Hello? Please, let's keep quiet so that we can hear me. You must take permission. Take permission from the authority, whether the principal or your cooperating teacher, as the case may be. And lastly, communication skills. We are expected to have effective communication skills. And one of the characteristics of a good teacher is knowing how to communicate with your learners. Know how to communicate with them. Avoid the use of vulgar languages. Learn to communicate in a way that your students will understand you. Is that okay? Learn to communicate with them in a way that they will understand you. Right from the way you talk to them, what to write on the board. All these border on effective communication skills. What to write on the board, what you say to them, the way you interact with them. They all involve your communication with them. And so we need to do it rightly. Avoid the use of dirty words. We are expected to speak well we are expected to talk to them well. You don't talk anyhow. Teachers don't talk anyhow. Avoid the use of vulgar languages, dirty words. Okay? So we are expected to comport ourselves well when we go out there. We are expected to represent the college there well. Because you are what? Ambassadors of this great institution. And so we expect the best comportment from you. And I know God will help every one of us. You know, just like the deputy provost said, I was once seated like this. Hello, not in this hall, but in Auditorium 1. About 34 years ago. Yes. So what you are going out for is not something new, but it's something you have to do with the whole of your mind. You have to put your best into it. You have been told that it carries what? 6 units. And without it, you cannot graduate. So we expect that you put your best into it, and I wish you all the best.
We can do more. Give her a round of applause. Thank you very much. A round of applause to Dr. Daudu. That's the Dean, Student Affairs of this college. Thank you very much. Now, the Directorate of Teaching Practice. We have some questions that have been given to us. Let us listen to those questions and get answers to them appropriately. Thank you very much.
Practice 213 and 223. If you fail either of the course, you are not eligible to go for teaching practice. You've seen the list for 213. 223 list is outside now. So you have to go and check. Already you have letters with you. So go and check. If your name is there, don't bother to go for teaching practice. Do not go for teaching practice. Do not say you were not told. And we have sent schedule of how you are going to collect your material for teaching practice. It is already on your platform. So you should adhere strictly to the day allocated for your school. So, and another one is that when you collect your package, there is a form on the package that you are going to collect that you will give to your respective school principal. It is the acknowledgement slip. The principal of your school will fill it. And you, the student teacher, you must return it back to the Directorate of Teaching Practice within 2 weeks of your assumption of duty in your respective school. It's going to count. If we do not see it, you are not going to be, you will not see your score at the end of the day. Now, back to your questions. Some of you are saying that you chose school that is not close to your house. Before you started choosing these schools, I went around all your lecture halls, and I told you, I want to do this. Like when I was reading my welcome address, I told you that the only thing that is permanent is what? Change. Before now, we have been doing this manually. We decided to go for online registration this time around. In the first instance, once you have submitted your registration, you cannot do any other registration again. And you are, just like I read, we have over 1,500 schools. It's not possible for everybody to be close to. Is quite close to your homes? Are you not here? So I pray that God will go with you. Go to the school that you have chosen, and God will see you through successfully in Jesus' name. Inshallah, everybody will be okay.
About a student from Vocational and Technical Education, studying business education 200 level. My matric number is 19/46713. If you have been given security education to teach in a school, and the principal said that is the only available subject, should you take it? The second one is, how can you fight against harassment? Like, all the harassment, any type of harassment. And the last one is, would there be a problem if a student have submitted the original TP placement letter to their respective school?
Or later. And you know, you're coming for NCE program. Is equipping you with the skill necessary for you to handle any level of students in primary and secondary school. I'm in front of you. At least, I was once a student in Aocoed, like you. You could go for teaching practice. In fact, the scheme of work they are doing in secondary school now have changed. So, the basic requirement for you to be able to fit into the program is what the NCE program is giving you. When I was in school, there was nothing like computing. Now, this online, is it not computing? Am I not adjusting? I was equipped with the necessary basic knowledge, and I'm adapting. So that is why we say you should go outside there. You should go and represent Aocoed well, the way we did when we were here. You should be able to teach any subject they ask you to teach. Yes. Yes. You should be able to teach any subject they ask you to teach and adapt to it. How do you go about it? Listen, I read guidance and counseling in university. At NCE, I did history religious studies. That time, it was still religious studies, not Islamic or CRK. We did everything together at that time. We even did African traditional religion. I went to the university, I did guidance and counseling. I'm in Aocoed. I'm teaching measurements and evaluation. Is it the same? When they ask me to teach measurement and evaluation, will I say I'm not teaching? So you too, you should go out there to go and teach. You read. You have the basic knowledge. When you get there, you get the syllabus. They will give you the scheme of work. They will give you the textbook. You have the knowledge. Go and represent us well. Go and make us proud. Let Lagos State know that we have trained you and we trained you well. And you can perform and perform better. We know you can do it. So don't be afraid. Go over there and deliver. God will be with you.
Eniola, from the Department of SARS, my matric number is 19/47494. My question is,
Because we
was a time I went to one school to supervise a student teacher. When I got to the school, the girl, when she was in front of the student, she started crying. She couldn't teach. Fortunately, the school, I think the school is a government school, and the cooperative teacher, experienced teacher, I have to talk to them, at least let them be tutor her, and I told her what I can do. You won't believe that when I went back to that school, she performed marvelously well because she had experienced and qualified teachers as her cooperating teachers. That is why we are saying you should go to government school. Like you, as you are seeing us here, what makes us happy is to see you grow up, become successful. That's the joy of us. We want you to be successful. We want you to come back here and impart and contribute your own quota to the Aocoed progress. And it is only by passing. And you will impact, even anybody, even those of us that are talking, our first experience in teaching is not palatable. You will go as, how am I going to do it? How am I going to face all these students? They are many, they are looking at me. Do I know this thing? But you know it. Just enter the class and deliver. And like I said, inshallah, by God's grace, it will be okay.
Instructional materials. There is no way you will teach without instructional materials. So there will be need for you to prepare, as you are preparing to go to class during the weekends. Make sure that you prepare all the instructional materials needed for the exercise. So there is no way you will teach without instructional materials. While I was in SARS, my students, they know that when they see me during teaching practice, that is my area, instructional materials. So at a particular year, I went to supervise some of the students at Dantos. As they saw me, they said, Mama has come, Mama has come, Mama has come. And this student teacher taught very well. He taught about the nuclear family. He taught very well. Then he said, okay, let me show you the instructional material. He now quickly went and brought out one instructional material. When he opened his electrical appliances, what is the relationship between electrical appliances and a
chosen and for you to give it to the principal. But some of you have been saying you misplaced on one problem or the other. But you know your school. Go there, you will collect some other information at the directory. Along with your placement letter, go to your school. Some of you will collect your letter today. You resume in your school tomorrow. If you collect your letter